Right now, you're joined with myself, Vita, and also Fale. Well, we've got three very special guests. I might also mention Moss couldn't make it tonight, and he's absolutely gutted, because he loves these three siblings and their music. So I'll get them to introduce themselves. So we'll start from the eldest to the youngest. If you just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
So boys, so everybody, my name is Rellek Brown, and I'm in my late 20s.
What's up? I'm Kennyon. I'm the middle child, obviously, and then the youngest.
I'm Bina, and I'm the youngest.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. It's we're really privileged to have you guys on. I've known you guys for a little while, and you're family friends of ours that go way back. But I think it's really cool for Fale to really get to know you guys, but also the listeners, because I don't think a lot of people know that all three of you are siblings. I don't know if you guys have got that before, but I really want to give a good background on, where you guys came from, your inspirations, and then what's next and how can we support you guys as well. So once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
But yeah, let's kick it off, as we go way back, right from the start. Where were you guys born? Where'd you guys grow up?
Well, me and my brother Kennyon, we were born in Auckland, New Zealand.
Hey, Auckland.
Are we loud enough, fella?
Yeah, you're loud enough, man.
Yep. Yeah. First time doing this. We're born in Auckland, New Zealand. Bina was born in Brisbane, Australia, and we pretty much left Australia like we're all under the age of 10, I think. So we're still pretty young, and did all my schooling in the States. These two started over there, and when we moved back after I graduated high school, and they finished off their schooling out here.
Nice. Yep. And when you talk about being born in New Zealand, do you guys remember much, or was majority of your memories?
No way. No way. The first time I went back, which was probably, I think 2015. That was my first time since I was a baby. Man, I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea of anything there. So, I remember the first time, like when I went that year, I was like, nah, this is just a whole different world to me. But it was good to be back there, obviously, because that's pretty much hometown for me.
Well, even just coming back to Australia, besides your wife, Bina and them and their family, and like probably like two others, a lot of people were coming up to us, talk to my dad, and then their kids like our age would be like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, it's kind of awkward." I don't remember you, but anyways.
And then for yourself, Bina, like what do you remember? Do you remember your younger moments from Brisbane, or are they mainly from America? Were you guys?
Definitely, majority of my childhood memories are from the States. But I feel blessed because I was able to I was like 12 when we moved here. So so I had all my primary years in the States, and then I got to do getting into youth and adulthood here in Australia. So I feel like I've had the best of both worlds.
Nice. And when we talk about, islanders in the States versus islanders in Australia, is there much of a difference, in the way that they act or the way that they talk or they do stuff?
Yeah, we're all children of Heavenly Father.
Wow, preach, man, preach.
Why would you ask such a question?
I think so, yeah, definitely. I would notice a difference.
Yeah, well, I guess what were some of the differences? Like, would they act differently, or is it just language, or?
Yeah, I think it's culture, man. Like the culture for being a young Polynesian growing up in the States, like compared to being a Polynesian growing up in Australia and New Zealand, is very different. Like sport-wise, just the surroundings, like the different cultures that you grew up with. Like here, I mean, in the States is Mexicans, African Americans. So you're, like they say, you're a product of your environment. So like just being around these types of cultures, African Americans, Mexicans, like the white Americans, is very different compared to growing up with like the Aussies and Kiwis, and it's very multicultural here in Australia and New Zealand. So like just taking that with what I said, it's very different, but there's similarities when it comes to you know, going back to your roots as being Polynesians, you will always come back to being on the same page. But as like growing up in the States, it's very different, you know. And I think we adapted or realized that when we first moved here to Sydney. It was just a big culture shock, and then we had to slowly adapt. But yeah, love it now. Love it.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
So yo, go for it.
Yeah. No, so we went over to the States. So we got some family out in Hawaii. And I know it's not the states, right? It's kind of like the sister to the States, right? So it's a bit different, right?
Yeah.
But man, we went to just a home game for like a gridiron game.
Yeah,
And there was like more people there. Yeah, high school one.
Yeah.
There was more people there than an NRL game.
Yeah.
And then
Crazy.
man, they were like having signs, like they had like
yeah,
and what I think it is like the culture is a lot deeper because we're still developing here. And so I remember like the styles that you guys would have in the States, it'd come to us about 10 years later, right?
yeah.
But it'd be mixed because we try to mix it up with TNs and all the rest of it. It just looked weird, right? But no, I definitely see that. Like the culture, we kind of followed you, but then we kind of get mixed in the middle.
Yeah.
And then we had the biggest culture. So I mean, me and Vita were trying to drive on the right hand side of the road, the Masubi and all the rest of it. Like, man, it was crazy. So
the different sides, yeah.
yeah, definitely. So was there any other cultural, like what cultural shocks were there when you came to Australia? Like, was it food? Was it fashion? Were people not talking? Like, was it the slang? Or what was it?
Definitely the accents was a lot to like get used to, the slang, definitely. And I guess for me, because I spent elementary or like primary in the States, I always like pictured my youth and, you know, young adult years a certain way compared to what it is now. But yeah, I'm so happy that we moved to Sydney. I'm so proud to be from Western Sydney.
Rip it.
Sure.
A lot of people always wonder like why these two, like my brothers, have strong American accents, but that's probably because I did like half of my schooling here. So that's why I would say I'm the Australian one.
The Aussie.
Yeah.
Very
Can I say something going back to what Fale mentioned in regards to like 10 years behind or whatever you said regarding culture and whatnot? When it was actually Bina and her family that picked us up from the airport, me and Dad, because we came first to Australia after I graduated high school. And long story short, we're driving on the bridge just before the tunnel. And I remember I could see two people from the back, both had long hair, and they both had skinny jeans. This is like the very first day back. And I was like, and they were holding hands. I was like, dang, man. I mean, I know the gays and lesbian thing is getting like out there and it's becoming normal. And then as we passed, I looked back and one was a dude and one was a girl, but they were both wearing tight jeans. And this is like over 11 years ago. So like back then when I was leaving, when I just graduated, skinny jeans wasn't a thing. It was still baggy clothes, like the hip hop, you know, the typical baggy pants, pro club. So that was one thing that I guess is kind of reversed. Yeah. I think skinny jeans are like going hard out there in America now. And I'm starting to slowly see quite a few people out in Australia rock the NBA, NFL, baggy clothing out here. But
so have you tried rocking the skinny jeans yet?
Really? Yeah, anyways, next question.
No,
I don't think I'll ever rock them, even if I am skinny.
You know, your family is very musical. I know growing up, both your mother and your father were very musical. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that? You know, some of your memories growing up on how that got instilled in you guys?
Since we were little, even living in the States, and then moving here, you know, our mom was a choir director. And, I mean, they were both in a band when they were younger, like before they were married. Yeah, they were in a band. I can't remember if I think mom was a singer.
Yeah,
Dad was like a
BB.
He reckons he was everything in the band. But I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, and then mom like as when she had us and growing up in church, she was a choir director, and Dad was always around, obviously because of mom. So yeah, music's just always been a part of us. But then even like all the cousins, and you know, every time we'd have family functions, everyone would just bring the guitars and just jam. But then also, I think it's a part of the Polynesian culture, or you know, Pacific Islands. Like music and dance is a very very big thing in our culture since the early times. So I think that's just where it started, and then mom and dad, the band thing, and then the choir thing. So yeah.
Like I've always said that if you're Polynesian and you can talk, then you can sing. Whether or not you do something with it, that's up to the individual. But as a Polynesian, I think as a whole, some may sound better than others to others, but at the end of the day, I strongly feel that all Polynesians, if they can talk and have no issue there, then they can sing. It's just at the end of the day, a matter of which Polynesian wants to do something with it or just keep it in the shower and in the family home. Yeah.
Fale, it's your time to shine. Just belt it up, man.
Just let it out, man.
No way. But thank you, man. That's some encouragement, for sure. And man, with me and Vita, right? Like, I don't know why we probably just missed that strain, right, of the Polynesians being able to sing, man. Because man, my dad, he tried to give us guitar lessons. He had a DJ set, we had mixes, we had everything. Okay, we had a radio station, and like we had all this other stuff for community stuff. And man, we're still here, hey, Vita. Like, we're still on this bloke, so we're just.
Hey, what's that supposed to be? We're still here, living with our parents.
But in saying as much, right? Like, was there like guitars hanging around, or was the drums around, like when you guys were young, and would you guys like hop on the drums, or what was it around you? Like right now, and for the viewers, and we'll put it on YouTube too. Man, I'm going. You're taking me back. Hey, you've got like Michael Jackson, you've got the Fugees, you've got Whitney Houston. Maybe see some Prince in there, some Bonnie M, like Rasputin.
Jimi Hendrix is behind. Ray Charles.
Jimmy.
Yeah, there's a bunch. These are just like people that that kind of hold some type of significant part in our lives growing up. Music. A lot of them, mom and dad, not would always show us, but I'd first hear from mom and dad like when we were little. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
The vibe.
Nice. And I can actually say that I've shared the stage with Rellek and Bina. With your mum being the choir director at the front.
Yes.
We used to sing with our wood choir, and man, I used to try and keep it low, and I'm sure Rellek didn't want to say anything to me, but man, I was just trying to. When he went high, I went high.
So if anything, I was doing the same, man. I was just like, would be tired by the time it came to choir practice in the evening. So just trying to act like sometimes you got to fake it till you make it.
Feels.
And when we talk about your parents and instilling music into you, were they the ones to teach you how to sing, or was it just jamming with your cousins and your family and your friends that kind of got you guys started?
It was definitely just at home.
Yeah, no, I would say it was a mix of everything. Like definitely started from home, and then that's when the force came in, where our parents would like force us to sing for like church functions.
They didn't force, they just strongly encouraged us.
That's what they said. They said it was strong encouragement.
Disclaimer before we started.
Yeah. And obviously at the time, like often we would complain, especially as kids, but like I don't know about my brothers, but now looking back, quite grateful for it, because it's now made us help shape us into who we are. We don't have stage fright as bad, I guess. But even like earlier when you were asking like what instruments we had, we always had like and a piano. Like I honestly didn't like playing piano, but I was always forced to.
Bina was the piano player in the family. And she
no way.
she didn't want to be the piano player.
Oh, so every sacrament, they'd be looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. or even just growing up, we always had a piano in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
It was only because of Bina and dad. I'm pretty sure dad or mom paid for like piano lessons, like pretty much her whole childhood. And like she I mean, I don't know, but I felt like she was dreading it sometimes.
No, I was dreading it, but like I'm very grateful for what I've learned from it.
Nice. And there's 3 of you. So I want to talk about the sibling, I guess, dynamic at the moment. For yourself, Bina, what's it like having 2 strong, handsome older brothers?
Handsome, yes.
To be honest, I love it because like I know growing up I was always like, oh man, I want a sister so bad. Like I wish I had someone older that was obviously female that I could relate to and be close with. But like now, especially like as a parent myself, I'm like grateful that to this day, both my brothers, it's like they fulfill certain, I don't know, needs in my life. Like,
Yeah, no.
you know, they
Yeah,
both
yeah.
hold special places in my.
First time hearing this.
Yeah, no, I feel weird saying
She's
it.
tapping my knee.
Yeah, I feel
telling us
weird
to just
saying it
nod.
'cause they're both here.
Oh, sorry.
Because they're both next to me. But yeah, I love that. Growing up, I would always go to so Relics, I would always go to his high school performances. And Kenyon would always have his school competitions, and he Relic would be in like choir competitions or just talent shows. So it was really cool just always sitting on like, you know, in the audience and just cheering for them. And I would just watch them in amazement, not knowing that one day we would all be able to say it's somewhat of a career for us. Yeah, and I love that. So like most people know that Relic does live music, and out of us three, if you needed someone to come and sing lead for your band, he would be the only one.
Oh, the man's.
Yeah, and he's pretty good like that. And then obviously with Kenyon, he's quite talented as well. Can produce and engineer, write his own music. And he definitely like plays a big role in assisting myself and Relic as well.
Studio.
Yeah, in the studio. And then I feel like, honestly, I feel like the least talented out of us three. But
No way.
yeah, but I'm
she thinks that.
Yeah, I'm thankful though for the times that I do get to put out music and have some projects. But yeah, it wouldn't be possible without them.
No, definitely. And so there's four of us, right? So my brother's the oldest and he's Bishop, and Fale and the one in the middle. And then I have another two younger sisters. And man, definitely for any like girl advice, I'd never go to Vita. I'd always go to my like while he's smooth and all the rest of it, right? Like your sister knows what a girl needs, right? Like I can't, you can't go past a sister's advice in regards to how to take care of a woman. So no, that's a big ups, and I totally understand. And it's so good to kind of see that there's no ego. Like you guys can just sit in a room and talk to each other. When sometimes when people get older, like families, money, and all the rest of it. Is there some things that like you guys? Is it just because you guys have been so long together, or you guys have a laugh together? What are some things that kind of keep you guys binded and together?
I think it's just the sibling. Like we don't get it wrong. Like we're just like any siblings. We fight and argue like
for sure,
like any other siblings. But I mean, if we didn't, it wouldn't be like a solid love between like us, because if it's not perfect and it's not meant to be perfect. But I think it's just before the music business, there's that sibling love. So when we do music, it's out of love, and then with that comes the music stuff, like the everything else with making songs.
I think for me, to answer your question fully, it's the example of our parents, like my dad and mom. My dad's always talking about his siblings, and he's always telling us stories growing up. And then he'd always I'm pretty sure with them too, but for me being the eldest, I'd always get the lectures of, as you get older, you're gonna understand what I'm trying to say. Make sure you look after your brother and sister. Listen to me now, because when you get older, you're gonna see what I'm trying to explain to you. So I think it's just seeing the example of our parents and how they often talk about, I guess from our parents' generation going back into history, when they're on the island, it's a small place, so they can't really go to the city or go to GC and have a night out. It's plantation in your house with no windows and the same people we see every day. So I guess it's the example of our parents that kind of keep us together.
I agree, especially to this day my parents are they're very gospel orientated. So they raised all of us in church, so that's why we were always close. So I think to this day, no matter where all three of us are in our personal lives, we're still very close, still have that bond that my parents embedded within us from a young age.
Awesome. And it's good hearing, I guess, your perspective, Bina, but also Rellek, being the eldest, because I know, especially from a Polynesian background, but also being the elder sibling, there's some responsibilities that you kind of feel for younger ones. And it's not easy. Like you're trying to figure out, am I doing the right thing? How do I look out for them? How can I give them advice? Do you ever feel like that sometimes, even now, really?
Oh, 100%. And to be honest, I can openly say, first say, I've made so many mistakes in life, and I know we all make mistakes as humans. But man, the amount of mistakes I've made and the amount of times I've apologized to my siblings, it's crazy, man. But I do know the feeling.
Yeah. And then you've got the middle sibling. Sometimes it gets a little bit forgotten. Sometimes it gets a little bit neglected. But
hey man, hey, we don't have to talk about this, man.
The middle sibling.
I was gonna say something, but Fale's a middle child too.
You can tell her.
The middle sibling always has the weird. They're like the what is the.
Wait, can I just say this, Fale? I'm not even trying to be funny, bro, but Bishop, my mom and dad always say, to be very honest, they always say when he's not around and we're venting to them about any dramas we're having as siblings, they always say, son, he's the middle child, he's the second one, he's the special one. Hey, Fale, I'm not making this up, I swear. This is what they say to me. They go, he's the middle child, his younger brother, he's different, and then they keep saying all this stuff when he was younger, blah 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 blah. So you just gotta accept it. So all I'm trying to say is, I love it to death, but according to my mom and dad, he's the special one.
I often
take it how you want it.
So Vita, have you any had conversations with mom and dad about me, or?
Oh, mate. You've always been special. We'll
take it offline, huh? No, but thank you. No, that makes sense. 100%.
What are you saying, Bina?
Oh no, I was gonna say people always think oh, Bina's a favorite because she's the youngest only girl, but I think Kels would agree with me that majority of the time this
guy gets away with a lot.
I'm the quietest when
That's true.
I'm the quietest, so I don't really.
Nah, he's the slickest.
Smooth.
Whenever there's a foul,
the quiet ones you have to watch.
Yeah. Whenever there's the long that need to be mowed, this guy's missing.
Yeah.
So when we talk about your music and now making it a career and progressing through it, and Fale kind of reminded me. So for me, I just see you guys, as Rellek, Bina, and Kennyon, these are just that's them.
Yeah.
But Fale's like, man, do you realize how many views they have? One of your videos has 9 million views. A Lady Love has already clocked over 2 million views. Rellek, your songs, you've already got over 1 million streams. And, if you combine them, there's already so combined together, you guys have got millions and millions of streams and views.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. But, you guys, like Fale said, you guys are still grounded. Do you guys still get that buzz? When you look back and you see, the support you guys are getting?
Yeah, but like we said it earlier, it's there's love for music. So I think that's kind of why we're still the way we are, because we just always want to make a song or something like we just want to keep creating and just putting stuff out. It's with Lady Love, especially. That's the latest one that's gone kind of big.
Lady Love.
We wrote that. Yeah, me and Bina wrote that just because. Yeah, it was just something that we wanted to write, and it was something that was in our hearts at the time. So we don't really write music or do music trying to be let's hope that this makes us famous.
Yeah, more passion project.
Yeah, passion project.
Yeah. And it shows. It definitely shows, because either would it be B or Lady Love or Blessings or For You, you can tell that it's all love, and you can tell that you've been through a lot and you're expressing it through your music, rather than, hey, this is the new flashy hit and get it. You know what I mean? Even the 2 seconds, right? I was watching it, and you did your clips of how you made it. You can tell that there's love in there. It's a quick, while it's a quick little song, it will take hours and years to get to that point to make it so slick and clean. And so you can definitely see that, and it just shows in your music itself. So
yeah, man. It takes. Sorry, bro. It takes just what you said. You're the first person to ever say that to me. People don't realize for a 3-minute song or 2 minutes of their life, there's hours, weeks, months behind that, So it takes a lot of passion to put that amount of time into making something to give to people, So that's definitely, it's always passion projects. especially with the videos and stuff and planning it. It's kind of a headache now and then, but yeah,
It's worth
at the
it,
end of
man.
it, it's always like worth it. You know, yeah, we love doing it. Definitely love doing it.
And take me, I guess, through the process on how you guys, write songs, or you guys get the inspiration. Like, is it, whenever you kind of wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, oh, this is a mad line, or this is a mad beat, and you kind of talk to somebody about it, or do you guys have to go to the studio and kind of put things together? How does it work differently for you guys, or how does your music, I guess, first start?
Well,
I
yeah,
think
well,
we're all
Bina,
kind of a little different, but
Yeah.
everyone's
shouldn't
got
be
their
too-
Bina's got her own way of writing stuff. Like,
Yeah. I remember when I started off, it was like, yeah, it was probably mainly when I came home from my mission. I mean, like, I think 3 years ago. But I was literally just on SoundCloud. Like, I would write stuff in my journal, or like on my phone, and then yeah, I'll just be like, oh, TJ, can I just borrow it? Not thinking that I would actually want him to then help produce it, or it would just, yeah, it would go like that. And then I know now, even to this day, I would get messages from either Rellek or Kennyon, and they'll just be like, oh, hey sis, what do you think of this idea? Like, and it'll be like maybe 1 a.m, but I see it the next day, or maybe I'm awake and I read it. Yeah, so I agree that I think we're all different when it comes to like our inspiration.
for me personally, it's I try to write like whatever comes to mind. Like, I could be driving, listening to a mainstream song on the radio, and then I just try to block out the vocals and sing to the beat and just make up random lyrics. I try to do that. I put it on my notes on my phone, but Just Dance, B, my two big songs on Spotify, like those
Yeah.
ones I wrote after I heard the beat. And for me personally, I prefer to hear a beat. If I like it, I feel like that's where I write my best. So that's just how I work. That's me personally. But some of the songs that aren't too good with streams, it's still done the same way. So yeah.
I mean, and for me, it's like just like I always write stuff based on things that happen in life, or things that happen around me, or just personal things that have happened to me or are happening, or just I try and write stuff that people will relate to, and relate to pretty much anything that people can relate to, whether it's a sad song, whether it's a happy song, love song, or anything like that. That's just how we write. There's no like
There's no
no
right
like
or wrong way.
Formula. Or,
yeah, there's no
Yeah.
formula to writing a song, really. Like, sometimes it could just be lyrics first. Bina's usually like, she does a lot of lyrics first and then melodies, whereas me is like, I want to create the sound first and then write to it, or it always changes. Just depends on like the song itself.
Nice. And would you guys say that you've got songs that you're kind of like putting in the back burner, or have you guys, it's more whatever you've got, you've kind of just releasing it as you go?
Oh, we've got plenty
Yeah.
of projects.
Oh,
There's a lot of like,
in
there's a
the
lot of
tank,
like,
eh?
there's a lot of like started and then just okay.
I mean,
let's
and this
move
is
on
a very
come back.
normal thing with
Yeah.
musicians, like artists. It's always like skeleton. We call it skeletons, where it's like just like there's no body to it yet. It's just ideas,
Ooh.
or half songs
At the bar.
that are just missing a that are just missing a verse, or need some extra like stuff to it. But there's definitely like a lot of stuff that we've done, even full songs that we're like, oh, maybe we won't release this because it doesn't make sense right now to drop something like this.
Yeah.
Like, we always make the music and then figure out like, okay, does this go in line with what we're trying to do right now? Does this make sense? Like, because you got to kind of have a strategy to the releases you do. If like,
Yeah.
say this one song is going good,
It's a business.
you don't want to put out another song that's very different. Like, you kind of want to follow up, because that's kind of
interesting.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you want to, it's like just a product, a company with a product. Like,
It's a
if they put
business.
out, if like Apple put out iPhone 13, and then they put out 14 and it was worse than the 13, like, it's obviously you got to go back to what they've done and then go off of that and then make it better. So there's a lot of stuff that are sitting there, but it's just like, oh, we don't know if that's gonna make sense for what we're trying to do right now. So yeah, but eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully we drop those ones.
Were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, while Kennyon was explaining all that, I just kept saying it's just like a business. You know, a lot of people look at musicians as, oh yeah, just go over there, get ready to do your performance over there, or yeah, cool song. But a lot of people forget, like you guys spoke about Kennyon earlier. You know, there's so many years and months behind the scenes that go into a 2.5 minute, 3 minute, even a minute and a half track that people listen to and they're like, oh, that's crap, that's trash. And then you're like, all right, well, there goes all my work down the drain for that person. But like at the end of the day, you know, it is a business. If you want to, you know, get onto the platforms and see what people think about you, you gotta attack it as a business.
Oh, and going off of that, sorry, just like with what Kel said, like when there's people that say like, nah, this is whack, that comes down to like, all right, are you doing the music because you love the music? Are you doing music because you just have a passion for it? Or are you doing it because you have a passion for it? Or, are you doing it because you have a passion for it and you're trying to make income off of it? So when people like, you know, comment negative stuff, it's like we tap in, or especially me, I listen in and I'm like, okay, maybe the majority of people aren't liking this sound, so let's go and back to the drawing board and figure out what they like. Because at the end of the day, you know how they always say, oh, make the music that you love. You know, I also love making music that people love. So I'm not gonna just make a song, or we're not just gonna make a song that that we love. We want to make it that a song for people to love as well. So
otherwise, we'll be releasing 5 songs a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly.
Today I woke up and
So, yeah, like the negative comments, and there's always gonna be negative comments with everything. Like nothing's gonna be perfect, but it's just being able to like pick and choose, you know, at the right times, which one we want to take in, and you know, figure out how it's gonna affect us, if that. So yeah, it's good to have, you know, negative comments now and then, or people go, oh, I don't really like this one, because then it just betters us as musicians to sharpen our abilities as writers and singers.
Yeah, it's nice when it's constructive, but
Yeah,
when people are
say
just
that,
like slamming it for the sake of just saying your music's crap, like, well, where's your single? You know,
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
let me listen to it.
Yeah, there's some comments where it's like, okay, I don't even want to have an educated disagreement with you, because it's that's just a hating comment. There's a difference between like hating comments and like people that, you know, have constructive criticism that we can take and learn from, you know. So it's just funny though when I see like the hating comments. I'm like, bro, come on, man, that's hating. That's not trying to help us.
We usually tend to like ignore the hate comments, but I think out of us siblings, I feel I'm the worst, and that's like a weakness of mine. Like I don't reply back to everyone, but I don't know if it's a mother thing, but yeah, if you catch me in the wrong time.
Probably it's a girl thing.
Oh, please, man, I need to live, man. I got 3 kids, man. Leave me alone, man.
Yeah.
No, so no, I totally agree with you. And just going back, and then we'll come back to the comments. But I think it's really important to know that it is a business, and you need to do it with passion. Because you know, a lot of Polynesians, they're really talented in what they do, but they're like, nah, I'll just keep it to myself. I'll just sit here with the boys in the garage, and I'll just, you know, jam it out. But he'd have probably the best voice, but he wouldn't, you know, market himself. And people will say, oh, you sold out and all the rest of it. But you know what I see with you guys, like, man, you, like Kennyon, you have so many songs. When I was running, I just kept running, and then you just had so many features, like you just kept going, like it's so many tracks. So you know, you're like the hardest worker in the room, right? And then Rellek, man, when I heard your B, you took me to like a soulful place. Like you're so versatile with your voice, it goes up and down. And then Bina, the meaning in like some of the lyrics that you're saying, like the blessings one, man, I was like, oh, maybe have another child, eh? Just, you know, like it just hits you, like, and you can tell that the business and then also the passion, it molds together. Like you can't have too much of one and too much of the other, right? And I think you guys have learned that over the years and such. So that was my comment for that one. But then also just with comments in general, is there, do you take like some constructive feedback and then share it with each other, or is it kind of just a don't pay attention to it?
We
Guess
do
it
discuss some
depends,
comments, to
yeah,
be
it
honest.
depends, yeah.
But to be real, dude, like I honestly think that a lot of times we don't share what our supporters, our friends, our fans see in the comment section.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I think we only talk about one that someone else will screenshot send to us, like, oh, did you see this?
That's
And
true.
obviously we didn't, otherwise, So yeah, we don't talk as much as we do because we've all agreed and we've said to each other before that we can't let hate slow us down. Otherwise, we're not really passionate about music. And at the end of the day, like, I'm not trying to be cliche, but like Jesus had haters, Beyonce has haters. Like if those two names, especially, Jesus having haters is a fact, then it's just you just gotta learn how to just keep going and just ignore it.
It's more so like
there's no way of getting around the hate.
It's more so like focusing on the positives. Like that's one thing I always try and tell a lot of my like younger friends in the industry that would message me for advice now and then is you're always gonna get. I guess that's in life. You're always gonna get the bad.
It's not just music, anything.
Yeah, you're always gonna get the bad, but you just gotta learn how to
just focus on the good.
Yeah,
let the positives outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, always, and that's one rule I try and live by, and always try and tell, especially Bina as well. Like, is we got to remember there's more fans than the hate. There's more positive than the negative.
Yeah,
and people always tend to they forget to thank the people that are supporting, but always tend to highlight and put shine on the negative comments and react to those instead of thanking the people that are supporting you more than replying to the people that are being hated. So that's just one thing that helps us get through is just focus on the positives. You gotta understand it. There's always gonna be the bad, comes with it.
And one thing I've definitely noticed with music, and something that you mentioned, Bina, is being a mother. As soon as you had your daughter, like I know your whole family is smitten by your daughter. Yeah, like even like your songs, the way that you guys look at your daughter, like everything's like almost about her now. You know what I mean? What's that like? Being a mother and also being inspired by, I guess, your daughter and your family.
I just think, like, I guess if I was to compare or try to picture myself years ago, or even to this day, if I was trying to picture myself writing and releasing music, I know it wouldn't be anywhere near what it is now. Because, any project that I put out, even if it's not a song specifically made about, kids or my husband or anything like family related, it's always, at the end of the day, it's always inspired by my husband or my family, like my kids. And sometimes like I used to worry like, oh, maybe people might think like I'm too cheesy or I'm too, like, I don't know, too much with my family songs, like After Blessing and then Lady Love. But I guess what Kennyon was saying earlier, like it's really cool seeing all the support. And it just makes you feel so grateful.
Nice. That's awesome. I definitely, and you can see it, and what like Fale was saying, you can see it through your music, and even as siblings, like it's awesome that you're able to share this passion together. You know what I mean? Where not many people can do these things. Usually you've got, one sibling, you're like, oh yeah, my cousin sings or so-and-so sings, but the fact that you can all do it together, that's awesome. How do your parents feel about you guys and your singing?
Well,
What are you saying?
We'll go from that side to this side.
Yeah. Well, like any any young Polynesian, like I let's just say Polynesians, the kind of music that I do and the videos I do, it doesn't really line up with a lot of the cultural standards and
mom and dad standards.
Yeah.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Sorry.
Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, you know what that means.
100, totally agree.
But at the same time, it's the art. Like they will always be parents.
Mm.
My parents will always be parents and always remind you like, no, I don't like this, or can you maybe try doing this more? And they're always gonna be reminding me. And I try it, but I don't.
Yeah.
It's something I'm gonna try though. For going into next year is like I'm about to. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, that's.
But I guess as well,
something
like although our parents are like, the way that they are, bless their souls. But honestly, they're also the biggest fans.
Beautiful.
They are our biggest fans. But sometimes, like I know my brothers especially would like kind of get embarrassed. Yeah. And then I guess for me, I think because I'm a mother as well, I'm always cautious, like, oh no, my parents are gonna see this video, I gotta make sure this is that. Or I even think of like my husband's family, like, because I have a new last name, so I'd like
Let's go.
MMT.
Oh, they say time out. Sorry.
Like,
White Rellek, man, you're my favorite.
I would even ask my husband, like, oh, do you think this would be okay? Like, do you think your parents would? But yeah, I guess just because I'm a mom myself, and I try to picture like if my daughter does this, would I be comfortable? Yeah, but that's just for me. But
yeah, look, there's nothing to front about. Kennyon does a lot of I guess the best way to put it is explicit compared to what Bina and I do music video wise. But with that being said, he's been doing it for about 5 and a bit years. He's been in the original scene much longer than me and Bina, and he chose the path that he chose, and it's getting the numbers that's getting him, and it's taken him a long time to get to where he's at now. So this is, I don't know if people all know this, but I have a 9 to 5. She's a stay-at-home mom right now, which is a 9 to 25, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah.
We both have jobs, but we're doing music on the side. For Kennyon, he's he's doing this full time, so
it's full time.
I don't know if a lot of people know that, but him doing it full time, the point of bringing that up is that he's found his lane. He's staying in it, and although mom and dad, obviously being Samoan and believes in the church, like it's not good in their eyes, but they've accepted that. That's what. Bro, you don't have to leave.
No.
But they've accepted that this is what their son, our brother, has chosen, and as long as like no one's dying or getting hurt, and I guess at the end of the day, that's the best way to explain it, that this is his bread and butter. He does it full time. It's taking him a long time to get there, so that's why he's in that lane. But for me and Bina, it's got nothing to do with him doing that or our parents, or might have a little bit, but for majority of it, she's explained why she does what she does, and I just do it because I feel like that's my lane. There's no point in me trying to be in the pool with a bunch of girls in bikinis when I don't have a pool body. You know what I mean? So
don't worry, I love this on ice cream. It's all good.
But yeah, hope that all made sense.
Yeah,
no, 100% it did. And even for Kennyon, man, like it's your expression, you know what I mean? That's how you feel, and you're probably the favorite. That's probably why you get less slack for it. And I'll probably get the same thing. So and I'll be frank, right? Because Vita's bishop here, right? And not too much in the church, but my brother loves me still the same. My parents still love me still the same. And if anything, they treat me still the same. So no matter what I do, I know that they'll have my back regarding such, right? And I either like to do other stuff or whatever it is, but when I fall, they're always going to be there for me. So I think, and you can tell that's being pure, you know what I mean? Like we spoke about before. If it wasn't being pure and he's just got like girls everywhere and all the rest of it for no apparent reason, obviously there's an expression there. And there's an art in it. It's not just I just order this and whatever it is, right? But man, Vita is he's going back to the faith and everything else. You can tell he gives me the eyes sometimes when I go too far. He's like bishop interview and all the rest of it. But no, I love it all the same. So no, totally get where you're coming from, Kennyon, man. Like that's you, man. That's you,
man. And like Fale was saying before, you're probably the busiest person in the room when it comes to music. You're almost like a Aussie Pharrell, like you're featuring on everybody's clip, you know what I mean? So big ups to you and like a lot of the work that you guys are doing. All right. Well, I guess now we've kind of built you guys up to what you guys are doing now and how you got into your music. What's next for Bina, Kennyon, and Rellek?
We'll start with Bina.
Definitely once Lady Love drops.
Oh, tomorrow,
That's
can't wait.
a special.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's a special.
This week, yeah.
This
Music video,
Friday, the 3rd of December. With like a big announcement then. So that's, I guess, the what's next for me. But music wise, we've got a lot of projects that we're looking forward to for next year. And I don't know if, I'm sure I can say it, but we've got some Sibling projects that we've got in
Nice.
plan for next year. So yeah, definitely excited.
Else?
For me, it's just to keep dropping some covers to grow my fan base. As you all can see, I probably have the lowest, or I do have the lowest numbers on socials. So for me, it's just focus on doing some covers, get some more content out there. In regards to the original scene, definitely this year I only dropped one single, and next year is definitely gonna be a whole bunch of songs coming out. And like Sis said, we're gonna have some Sibling projects coming out or collabs. But to be very honest, one thing that I do want to do to show my gratitude to my parents and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, everything that I've learned growing up there, I do want to do a cover or two, or even write an original two for the church. And that's definitely going to be one of my goals next year.
Nice.
Wow, that's the first I'm hearing. So I'm
I told you
excited.
about it already.
I'm excited to see
First
that
time
as
hearing,
well.
but anyways. Yes, just like what they said, we're definitely gonna work on a Sibling project next year. That's something that's gonna be a big passion project, especially for me, because like I engineer everything for us, so it's gonna be a real busy time, and then just putting out a project like with I mean, as siblings, like I don't really hear much about siblings putting out an album together. So that would be something cool.
Yeah, 100%.
That'll be something cool for us to do together, and then coming together with like the different types of sounds and the topics we would usually sing about and combining it all. It's gonna be cool. I'm excited for that. For me, I got my first project for the year. Well, probably first and last because it's December now. Dropping next Friday, December 10th. And that's gonna be called Kenny Hendrix, he's somewhere here. He's a big like inspiration to my music. Him and Prince, Jimi Hendrix and Prince are like my biggest inspos, like from the old school artists. Take a lot from them, like with musicianship, like guitars and production and all that stuff, and then just kind of mixing it in to make it more modernized and likable to everybody to be able to have replay value. So yeah, that's dropping December 10th, and then that's the last project for the year, and then we're gonna get on to Keller's next drop, and Bina's next drop after that. So got a lot to do, got a lot of work to do, but
busy.
Yeah, it's been a good year, like for all of us. It's been a good 2 years actually for all of us. I think everyone is finding their sound and their style. So I think next year is going to be a good time for music for us. So,
yeah, definitely. And just quickly before we start wrapping up and doing some other stuff, how do you guys find who you collaborate with? Because honestly, for your remixes, Bina, when DJ Noise remixed Woman and also Lady Love, mate, it changed it from a nice cruising jam into like a beat where you can just like you can dance to,
move to,
From the king himself. Yeah. Well, specifically for DJ Noise, and I don't know if many people know, but us three are siblings, as well as Noise, Danielle Lewis. We're actually all under the same label, so we all share the same manager. So we're quite blessed to all work very closely. But yes, shout out to DJ Noise.
Shout out.
Oh yes!
Nice.
Shout out to our managers, Mark Martins, the Big Bro Sam, and our label is
Future Now.
So,
like, while we're on the topic, we have like two, I guess you would call them managers, advisors. Sam, who's formerly known as Fortify, who now lives in
on the
Dubai.
way.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, the entrepreneur.
the big muscly guy.
Yeah. So he started the label. Him and Mark Martins, they started this label back in 2000, probably before I was even around, to be honest. And I met him when I first came. They kind of brought me into the industry, Mark and Fortify. And ever since then, I just stayed with them, and we just kind of, grew together. And they directed me with my sound and kind of like told me, okay, this you should do this, and then do that. And then they introduced me to Noise. Noise, they were booking Noise. They used to do a lot of shows up in like the regional towns, and do all like book artists and stuff, and come do club shows and like in Queensland, all around the country. So they would always book Noise back in the days, and then they brought me on, and then I started touring with Noise a bit, as well as Donnell Lewis, who was also one of the other boys.
Yeah, shout out to him.
So then we ended, shout out to Donnell. He's in Brisbane. So yeah, everyone, it's kind of like we were all friends and bros before it became such a business thing to us.
Yeah.
And then the latest additions was these two, like Bina and Keller. Obviously, they were just doing music, and I like would go. Mark's like, bro, I have my other and sister. They sing too, and then Mark's like, yeah, do some stuff, like show some stuff. And then I don't even think they were asked. They were just kind of like slowly, becoming one of the crew. And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, we're Future now as well. So, so shout out to our management and our label, Future Now.
Yeah, shout out.
Mark, Sam. Honestly, they do a lot for us.
They really do.
Behind the scenes.
Shout out to our brothers, DJ Noise and
Noise and Donnell,
Oh,
like pretty much the family right there. So yeah.
But also, if you look at the Australian music scene, it is an awesome time to be alive now.
There's a lot of good artists out there.
I said this to Creasy, the guy that's been shooting a lot of our stuff.
Yeah, you see his video clips everywhere.
Yeah, so he shot Lady Love, shot 2 seconds, and he's pretty much shooting and he's most likely going to be shooting all the stuff for us going into next year. But I said to him, I was like, man, when I started doing music, there wasn't a platform.
There's no one else around, eh?
Yeah. There was no one else around, and then there also wasn't, but like, it was a good thing, but then I realized it was kind of also a bad thing because there was no platform for us. Like, I honestly feel like now when Bina and Keller came in and with the new TikTok and everything, like TikTok age, the new TikTok age, like it kind of opened up a big platform for Polynesian artists because it was just easy to get stuff around. Like it's just easy to share music, easy to get your name out there. So yeah, now there's a bigger market, especially for Polynesian artists in the urban scene. It's usually the reggae or the reggae music is usually what people remember us for, but now they can remember us for hip hop, rap, R&B, all the above. So yeah,
it's thriving.
Good time.
Man, I remember growing up, if I wanted to listen to music, I have to wake up on Saturday morning at like 6 a.m. and listen to Rage. And then if I wanted to record a song, my dad used to have this big tape player and you used to be able to press record. And then I had to make sure my siblings were quiet so I could record the songs onto my cassette and play in my Walkman. You know what I mean? And you look at today, man, now it's not even, you don't have to wait to be on TV. You can put your stuff on Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube.
Everything is in your hand now.
100%. So the fact that, it's so readily accessible, but then like the talent coming out of Australia is crazy. I've got my full playlist and it's full of artists within, mate, don't even have to leave Sydney, let alone Australia. You know what I mean? Like if you look at you guys, you got Young and Lips, you've got Cheeky, you've got all these other guys that are like,
it's literally every city in Australia, like it's just they have artists now. And then you can combine that with New Zealand, and then even in the States, like I was saying before, it was all reggae. Everybody. There was a lot of, there were still rappers and R&B artists, but not like reggae was. Reggae was like for Polynesians was like the top tier, and that's what everyone loved. and that's what got the highlights from, you know, everyone was just listening, tapping in with that. That's what everyone knew us for. And then now it's like the platform is everyone remembers, like people know all different types of genres when it comes to Polynesian artists. So it's a crazy time, man. It's a good time. Very good time.
Definitely. And you talk about like that, and again, we'll wrap up really soon because I know you guys, you know, your time is precious. And
we're good.
No, you guys are. But you think about DJ Noise, hey, like you think about the generations he's kind of brought together with the Neon Moon, right? Yeah. Like, and same as you know, your song, like you know when you know you've hit it, or like you know you've influenced people. When I walk through the mall and I see people just prop up their phone on the side of the toilet, and you're like, I need to pee, like I need to go now. Just and they're like they're dancing in the toilet because it's got good lighting. Like you know that's changed something. Like Neon Moon, like if I listen to the actual song itself, I'll be like, yeah, it's all right, it's got some soul, but you know, let's move on.
Remix, it's like
it
just made it. He modernized it. Like it's crazy. Biggest, I think it's one of the biggest TikTok dances this year.
And you can just tell by the credit, like the people that play it, the people that do the TikToks to it. Like, man, it's insane, man. It's crazy to know that that's just one of our Polynesian dudes from Australia. Like,
yeah, man,
worldwide. And the cool thing I love about Noise, like, sorry, we're talking, is he's a very humble dude, man. Like when it comes to this music stuff, like he did that Neon Moon remix, and like you would think that like that's something that's the only thing you're gonna be talking about, but yeah, when we have a group chat, just us, the label, and we like send it, you know, bro, check this one out. This guy did it. It's like, oh yeah, cool. But he's always in his room. He's always in his studio, just working on the next thing. He's like doesn't really sit on one thing.
He writes the least in our group chat.
Yeah, he writes the least because he's always working, always doing something. Like he's like us. It's passion to him. He's got like you guys know this. Noise has been around for what? I'm pretty sure 10 plus years now, and he's like one of the very few DJs that stuck around in the Polynesian world. If and not just stuck around, but like got bigger and bigger with every year that passed. So yeah, it's crazy, man. That Neon Move remix, how
he's been around longer than that, because me and Fale, we had our own radio program. It used to be called Black Label back in the days.
No way.
And he actually sent us a few of his tracks. Like
for
early tracks, like for us to play, and we used to play his tracks on our radio station back in the day.
Well, see, there you go. I like we moved here what 10, 11 years ago.
Wait, was that radio station like around when we just got here?
Yeah, when we just got here.
I remember listening to it.
I remember
that. Yeah. So it's crazy to see the growth for Noise too, you know.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, shout out to yourselves, but also all the Australian artists. Like, it's awesome that everybody can listen to our own music. Because before it was always the American influence, and there's awesome music coming from America. But the fact that we can listen to our own stuff and our own people, that's it's another level. So
it's a good, like I said,
like you said, it's a good time to be alive, man. No doubt. Shout out to all the people out there hustling, doing music, whether you're new, old in the game, but if you love it, just keep going. Don't stop.
That's it. Well, so I want to play one game with you guys before we start wrapping up. And as you guys said, you know, I know you guys, I know your parents, and you're actually really close family friends with my wife. And I know my wife and you guys grew up together. So I texted your mum and I gave her some questions, and she has to pick one of you guys as one of the answers, right? And I want you guys to guess who she picked.
Okay.
All right. So I'll ask you the question, and then you pick which sibling is it.
Okay.
Oh,
we're trying to guess her answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess mom's answer.
All
right.
So I asked your mum, who is the best cook out of you three?
Oh,
me.
Keller.
I'll say Keller.
Why would you say Keller or Rellek?
It's gonna be either me or Kennyon.
It just depends.
Not Bina.
Bina.
Not Bina.
Oh, Bina's good too.
She's a mother.
But like, honestly, I
too.
cook
She
what
can cook the pillow dishes.
Oh wait, I think it's gonna be Bina.
Yeah, it might be Bina actually.
No, honestly, myself and Rellek, not Kennyon, but myself and Rellek, he cooks the most.
I cook the most, but it's nothing special.
What do you cook? Like a good barbecue or?
Oh no, just scrambled eggs with some Italian herb.
Oh,
Ooh. Just a little sprinkle.
we're coming over, man. We're coming over.
Well, the answer that your mum gave was Rellek.
See,
Hey,
That's
yeah,
So you guys are right.
the garlic spice work, man. I'm telling you, it worked,
All right.
He's so happy.
She actually ran this past your dad as well, and they both agree. So
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
your parents, I asked your parents, who is always late?
Kenyon.
Me or TJ? Oh, Kenyon, yeah.
my mom. What are you
Oh, wait,
talking about?
Wait, it's
all the
out of
answers-
us
Mom
three.
was the lady.
Wait, wait,
What
wait,
the-
wait, wait.
It's
Is
Out
that,
of us
Not
three.
mom.
hey,
Nah.
it's Fale. Is the answers just us three, right? Obviously.
Yeah, just us.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
you three.
Kenyon.
Me? Nah.
What do you think?
Nah.
I
Tell
feel
her.
like she's probably talking about church as well, so she's probably talking about
Bina.
because I'm the only one. Okay.
Bina. That's my final answer.
Yeah,
Locking that in.
Kenyon's
right.
my final answer.
myself or Kenyon.
Locked in.
The answer is Bina.
Oh, hey, you had it.
Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
I thought so. All right.
All right. This next question, I asked your parents, who would win in a running race?
Ooh.
Me.
I feel like they said Kenyon, but we can prove that it's wrong.
Me.
I think Kenyon for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, they would have said Kenyon because I put on weight lately.
2 out of 3 of us definitely don't run, and I'm sure if it was us three-
Yeah, me.
All right. Yep. Correct. Kenya. Okay. Out of the three of you, who is the most Samoan?
Ooh.
Rellek,
Kels,
Oh, me.
hands
Keller.
down. Yeah.
for sure.
Why would you guys say that?
Well, he
I
speaks the
speak
most,
more fluent than these two
more
combined.
fluent.
That was his first
and-
I'm the
language.
And I
eldest,
think
so
because he was
I've
the,
been there
he's
the-
obviously the oldest. So, like, yeah.
He couldn't speak English
And I've
until.
got the scars on my legs to
Yeah.
prove it up in
Ooh.
Samoa.
Oh, the
Wait,
real
how-
island guy.
how
Yeah,
old
that
were
is
you
the real
guys?
island, the island boy.
He couldn't speak English until, was it 1st grade or 2nd grade?
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
Samoan was not many people know this. I think your wife Bena's family would know this, but Samoan
Yeah.
was my first language. English was my second.
Hey.
Ah.
And now I speak Spanish and Korean, so it's
Oh,
been a long
my
time. coming.
goodness.
Put it off, man. Put it off.
Confidence. Okay. Next question.
Oh,
Who
wait, what
is? Oh,
was
yep.
the
Sorry.
answer?
So did
Yeah,
Mom
it
say
was.
me?
Sorry, it was
Oh,
really.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of the three of you, who do your parents think is the funniest?
Oh,
I feel like we're all funny.
yeah. Keller.
But did they always give one answer, or did they
Yeah,
give
it was just one all the
Keller.
way.
I think it's Keller.
Relic?
Yeah.
Rellek.
People gonna be messaging me. Why does he keep calling you that? Anyways,
Sorry, Rellek.
yeah, I'm gonna say this. What do you think, sis?
I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, but I'm funny.
I might think her because she has a
hope
lot
I'm
of
funny.
blonde moments.
Yeah, I
No,
say
I
Rellek.
just have the most to say when it comes to our family.
Her or me? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably Rellek.
All right. The answer to that one is Rellek.
Yeah.
Hey. Y'all not doing too bad. What's that?
Yeah.
What's the score now? Like 3-1.
6-0-0. Keep
You
going.
know, we'll make a video clip and then we'll put numbers on top of your heads and see who gets the most.
There you
Yes,
go.
please. Stop
There
it,
you
so
go.
Okay. Out of the three of you, who gets scared the easiest?
Myself or Kenyon?
Kenyon or Bina?
Bina. I don't get
Oh.
scared. Come on now.
But they're probably talking about when we were younger, maybe.
Scared.
R&B singers always get scared.
Tough. Toughness.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah,
What did
I
you
don't know.
say?
Yeah, probably Bina. Has to be.
The answer is Kenyon.
Oh, bro.
I
That's
knew
all
it.
right, man.
I think
knew
they're
it.
talking about when
Who
we were
answered that?
younger.
My mom? Mom. Yeah, mom would have said that.
I heard a story, Kenyon, when you were younger.
Oh,
Apparently,
share it.
you've got a room.
You can say no, Kenny. You can say no. And
Nah,
cut
you
it
know
out.
why?
Me and you,
Bro,
bro, we'll look after each other.
I know a lot of stories that my mom and dad used to tell me that mom and dad told me about when I was little. I'm like, nah, there's no way. They're like, yep, there's way.
Wait, let's hear this story.
Well,
that-
apparently, this
What?
is when you lived in Sydney, in the same house where you guys grew up with my wife. And she said your room was at the back, Kenyon, and you're always scared and you had to sleep with the light on. Was that correct? Or
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. That's probably like one of at least 7-8 stories I've been told by my mom since when I was
Yeah.
little. Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Up the story, stop right there. Right?
I don't want to hear
Yeah,
any more
keep-
stories.
keep
Tell
going.
us stories.
I've got a few more.
Guys.
Nah. All right. If there was food missing from the fridge,
Keller,
who?
Rellek.
Oh, come on, man. Yes, man.
Rellek,
Wait, let's see the question first.
Who would have eaten it?
Rellek.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you're right. Really.
Go
I've
get him,
got-
man. You're go get him.
I've got two more. Okay. Out of the three of you, who was the first one to walk? Who walked earliest?
I think it was Relic.
Yeah, it would have been Rellek.
I'm pretty sure we were the slowest.
Yeah, would have been Rellek. Yeah.
This one was actually Bina.
Oh, wow.
Hey,
What?
smart, eh?
Walk
Just
and talk.
Well, the next one is who talked the earliest.
Bina.
Yeah, if it's not me, I'll
Had
be
to be
very
Bina.
surprised.
Bina or Relic?
Bina.
This was actually Relic.
Oh.
hey, talk,
Yeah,
What?
talking someone.
talk your game, man. Talk your game.
I'm actually surprised by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. This, I guess, brings us to a conclusion. I'll give us some final thoughts, and then I'll pass the time to my brother to give a couple of final thoughts. And then if you guys got anything you want to share after, feel free to do so. But honestly, I'm just blessed to once again catch up with you guys. Personally, as Vita, I've got a lot of love for you guys, and I love seeing you guys succeed. And the fact that you guys took the time out just to catch up and be on the podcast, for anyone listening out there, I really do hope that you've been inspired by these siblings and moving forward. So honestly, much love to you guys. Plug?
Yeah.
No, just thank you. Nothing much else, but just love for you guys. Like you guys give us a platform to actually identify ourselves through, because we used to identify ourselves with NWA, Neo, Chris
Yeah.
Brown, and that wasn't us, right? And you come here and then you share your culture, but like I can actually go back and say I can listen to Kennyon Brown, I can listen to B, I can listen to Blessings, and I can just chill and sit. And then that's actually my experience. I've never lived in Cali or whatever it is. Like I've never lived there. That's not my experience. So thank you for sharing your experiences with us, and then also inspiring a lot of people. So thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure.
Awesome.
Man. Pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This was fun.
Oh,
And-
cool.
and, yeah, while we're on that, like people that are watching this, they're probably like, hey, how come this guy keeps saying like, we've known him since like, we know his parents and stuff. Like, not many know, but Vita, like, his wife pretty much raised us, when we were
His
little.
wife's family
Like,
is
his family group.
so pretty much
First people that took us in when we first
close
moved here
family.
was their family. So
Mm.
yeah, this is deeper. Like this conversation, this podcast is deeper than what you guys think if you're watching
Yeah,
this.
no,
I just want to finish up by saying this one thing. Whoever's watching this, whatever it is you choose to do, especially Polynesian, and even if you're not Polynesian and you still listen to this, whatever you choose to do in life, if a lot of people aren't really supporting you, it doesn't mean it's not for you. If it makes you happy, I strongly encourage that you stick to it, because, man, you never know what's gonna happen in 2 years from when you start pushing on what you love, and just learn how to block out the hate and just keep chasing what you love, no matter what. Tomorrow's never promised. That's why there's always that saying floating around: live life to the fullest. So that's what I just want to leave this podcast with for everyone that's watching.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. We once again really appreciate you guys. Big ups to everybody listening up, and just remember the tagline: to kick back, stay ready, look sharp.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Nice.